where thousands of pages of documents revealed the Assistant Deputy Minister's office gave a directive to modify some key points related to allowable harm for interior Fraser steelhead. Furthermore, in these documents, the chair states there are things that happened to the Science Advisory Report after I signed it off. During that process, it was also revealed that DFO management, not DFO Science, had created its own run timing model. I believe that DFO management is still using this rejected model to brief the minister. Years later, the peer-reviewed document called the Recovery Potential Assessment has still not been released to the public. The records are not redacted or edited. DFO is simply refusing to provide them. Now, let me make this clear. The information the BC Wildlife Federation is seeking is not a matter of national security. Is it about endangered fish that DFO has hidden science and edited science on in the past? DFO's consistent undermining of science should be of great concern. DFO is structurally broken. Given the severity of this issue, we have one recommendation: separate DFO management from DFO science, or we will lose what remains of our Pacific salmon and steelhead.
DFO can do excellent science. However, there are often disconnects between science advice and management decisions.
Dr. Riddle's and my recent involvement concerns open net salmon farming in BC. As participants in 4 of the 9 Discovery Island risk assessments, we can testify the findings of minimal risk reflect neither the current state of knowledge nor true scientific consensus. Employees, contractors, and others linked to the salmon farming industry served on the steering committee and as senior reviewers, so that conflict of interest threatened the integrity of the process. Findings have been used to argue that BC salmon farming poses no more than a minimal risk to wild salmon. This is absolutely not what the CSAS studies found.
Briefly, what your experience was in the Tanaka baculum CSAS process?
There was a great deal of both DFO and industry influence over that process. Dissenting voices were all but bulldozered.
We're all saying the same thing. When there is good science and it affects DFO management, that science is hidden or edited or suppressed from Canadians. I can tell you that the minister right now even is not getting the science that's being provided by DFO science.
There is significant bias in the various groups that have that influence on the minister.
So I'm trying to understand the process that was taken that resulted in a 10-year span of us not seeing the results.
PRV is one of the agents most strongly associated with population level impacts in Chinook and coho salmon.
Sounds like some really vital information to be able to use in decisions around how to best move forward with fish farms. I wanted to share a little bit around what Bob Chamberlain shared in the steering committee, in the terms of reference, in the discussion paper, the peer review process. There was an unduly influence by industry.
I have had concerns over control of these kind of processes by industry.
Ms. LeBlanc, you made several statements in your letter to the Deputy Minister, Timothy Sargent, last November, gave examples of scientific advice that was meddled with.
In the current context, unfortunately, today I cannot give any information on the situation.